Hey, everybody. Welcome to another beautiful day. I'm so excited to pull cards for anyone that would like to hear from Spirit today. Just grateful for this beautiful Pisces full moon that's going on, bringing so much loving energy or expansive emotional energy. So, whatever we're focusing on is what we're going to feel. So, I am trying to focus on love today so that I feel that instead. So, we're going to do that. Hi, Nikitha. Welcome. And yeah, I'll get to your question. You'll be first on the list. I do want to, as always, pull a card here from the Guardian Angel deck and just see what message that the Guardian Angels have for the collective today, whoever comes across this video. So let's take a look here and see what Guardian Angels have for us today. All right. It's going to be this one here. I do love these. Beautiful art on here. And we've got action. Here we go. Trying to have the glare on there. And that says, drop all fear and just do it. You have the power to create and be whatever you truly want. Look inside your heart and take positive action in those things that bring you closer to achieving your desired goals. Nothing can stop you except your own fears. This card is positive confirmation from God and the angels that the time is right for you to start a new and exciting adventure. So I love that. That is a beautiful one for here. Hey, Lexa, welcome. Welcome. So glad that you could make it here. So I love that message. And I do want to start off here, of course. So Nikitha, if you are here, we'll pull your questions first. And then what else is coming in? Tarot of the Magical Forest today. I love the imagery on here. Yay, Nikitha, glad you're here. So let's take a look here. And we'll start off with if an MBA will be the right career choice for you. And then we'll ask if you'll settle abroad afterwards. So let's take a look here. We'll start off with the MBA. Would this be the... And when we say right, we'll say the most beneficial for you. Yeah. So you got the Sun card. So that would be a very clear yes. It's one of the most victorious, abundant, successful cards in the deck. So I would say that's a big thumbs up for the MBA. And then we'll look into here and say, will you settle in abroad after you get the MBA? We'll see what they have to say. All right. So will Nikitha settle abroad after the MBA? All right. Actually got 3 cards. Okay. Well, let's see what comes up for that here. So you do have the Strength card first. See that beautiful card there. And then you have and then you also have the Queen of Cups, Queen of Chalices. So I'm not getting like a movement card here. The only thing that really has a movement is the 5 of Wands here, which is about a movement of your energy, of looking at a situation from a place of conflict, a place of almost fear. Because when it first starts off, it looks like there's 5 people that are battling and they're trying to harm one another. Let's see if I can Get that. There we go. A little better there. And so it starts off when you first see the scene start. You're like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? But then you eventually they get down to one person standing. The other four are exhausted on the ground. The one person barely standing too. And you're like, what's going to happen next? Are they going to like battle one another? And then they all start laughing. They help each other up, and you realize these were friends that were helping grow each other's skills. And it wasn't a fearful thing at all. It actually was an act of love. So I kind of feel like this is about you higher. The strength card normally means like you connecting to your higher self here, but I kind of feel like in this case it's like the eights of the um suits of the tarot, which are about moving up to a new location, not a location, but a new place, a new higher education. So I feel like they're um, really coming in here, this message of that you are moving up in your education and your awareness, but I don't see a physical move that's being located here. The Queen of Cups is, the ruler of emotion, and she really connects to the higher realms. So they are telling you trust your gut and trust your intuition. I'm going to see what else here. Let's ask that specific question if you'll do your MBA in a foreign university. Let's see what comes up here. Okay. Yeah, you have the Eight of Cups. So this is about leaving behind emotions that no longer serve you. The Nine of Cups, which is where they're headed off to, is the wish fulfillment card. And I kind of feel like with the Queen of Cups being there with the emotions, it's like follow your heart, follow your dream. What is your wish? Is that what you want to do? Is that what will make your heart sing? Then do that. They're like, it's in your hands where you want to go and what you want to do with that. They're like, I don't feel like it's this, we have a lot of fated events in our lives that are happening on purpose for a purpose. And I kind of feel like they're saying, for this one, either way, whatever way you go with that, you're going to get the lessons and experience what you're wanting to experience. So if that is your wish fulfillment, put all that energy and all that focus on achieving that, because that's where you can head off to. You can go and live your dream. Yeah. Like Lexa said, your intuition will follow that. Follow your heart, you know. Um, if you're not living your dream, you're not living, you're just existing. So, when fears hold us back, we're just existing. And it'll only be a matter of time before the fear get outweighed by this ugly feeling that you're not living your dream and living what you want. And then you just rah, and go for it anyway. But I kind of feel like they're like, just be gentle with yourself, follow your heart, follow your intuition, follow, you know, um, the proper signs and opportunities are going to be coming across your path. And the more you're still inside, have that stillness and just this joy of living your dream, you'll see the opportunities just come right in front of your face. So I love that. I love it. I know I'm getting chills too. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I love this for you. Let's take a look here. Since I don't have any other questions, we'll go on to your next one here too. So will Ajay, I probably mispronounced that, I apologize, and the team from Trigent Company recruit you in or before October? Okay. Well, I have the Ten of Pentacles, which is a good sign of abundance coming into your life. And But I feel like, normally I'm like, oh, this is a really like abundant, abundant. But the 10, they're telling me that this is an ending and a new beginning in your external life. And I don't feel here. Another card popped out here. Yeah, and then you got the King of Pentacles. So you got the King and the Ten of Pentacles, which are two of the abundance cards of fulfillment, of wholeness, of completeness coming in. So if that is what will make you feel whole and complete, then that would be a yes. But I almost, you know, I almost feel like that's not the fulfilling thing for you. I really feel like that what's going to make you feel whole and complete, that was like what I was seeing is there's this abundance, but I'm like, but it's not what you're like settling for. It's like this, dream that you have is the fulfillment. That's what makes you feel whole, is doing that other stuff is like almost like a false start, like a an imitation, like something someone's given to you, as your dream, not as the dream that you want. And it's like I really feel like focusing in on what you want to do with that MBA and going abroad. I kind of feel like if that's your dream and that's like yes, then don't waste energy on anything else. They're like saying your fulfillment is going to come from within, from that dream, and not from the other stuff. That King of Pentacles, I feel, is you taking control over your outside world and headed towards what you're wanting to do, ending things in your physical world to move on to other things. So, okay. If that's what you really want in your heart, but I would take some time away from all the noise, away from everything else, and really focus in on what you want. Will that year of experience that you might think you need, is that really what will be for your dream? What if after a year we all die, a asteroid hits the planet? I'm not predicting that, by the way, no one panic. But really look into what it is that you really really want and live that now, is what I really feel they're wanting to tell you. Hey, Schlock, welcome. I am doing fantastic. How are you? Hey, is that Shaylee? All right, and Schlock, we'll move on to you next. If you have more questions there, Nikitha, just pop them down and then I'll come back around. And for anyone new coming in, if you are currently not a subscriber, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, and then it'll immediately let you put comments in the chat, and then you can just throw your questions in there. I do follow them in order, and so I will, get to it. So, all right, Nikitha. Well, then I think that's going to be great. I think you're going to get some good news from them then. So let's take a look here. And so, Schlock, let's see. You say, will you and Vidisha get into a committed relationship, and can give you a time frame? Now, I've been getting a lot of relationship questions and actually timing questions too, which I pulled out I have these little love oracle cards. See if we can get it without a glare there. There we go. And I've got this in both the pink and the black. And then for timing, I also found this cool chart which has dates by listing for each of the cards. So if I want to, I'm going to maybe experiment on you guys with that wheel. If we're looking for timing, it's like, when is this going to happen? We'll pull a card and see what it says. But I know, right? Woo! So let's take a look here. I'm going to use the pink always to represent and it's not being sexist or anything. It's like this represents you, whoever's the person asking questions, and then the dark deck, not that they're the dark shadowy evil character, but that's going to be their information for them or about them, like their perception, their viewpoints. So yes, it is your turn, Schluck. So we'll start with you, and we're going to ask um, first of all about the committed relationship. So we'll start with that for you, and we're going to use the pink deck, and we'll see here what they have to say. Will they get in a committed relationship? And then if it's a positive answer, okay, then we will look at the wheel. So you got there we go. You got the seduction. Whoa. There is attraction, flirting, dating. It says hooking up, temptation, but third party interference too. So I kind of feel like that's like a not an absolute yes. That's like right now there's this flirtation, there's this it feels like and I don't feel like the third party is like a third person. I kind of feel like they're distracted by something in their lives. Like if it's like schooling or their job or something going on in their family, like an illness, it's like shared attention type of thing where they're totally distracted off into their world that they're not even thinking about that. Okay, yeah. So I'm not getting a you know that a yes on that. It's just like right now it's just flatlined. It's kind of like uh, I don't want to say like you might be feeling like you're uh, they're trying to fit you in between the important things, and it's just because they only have so much they can give, and it's not what you're wanting right now. So I know I wish I had a better answer for that for you there, but it seems like that's just how it's going to be for a while because they didn't give me anything else. They're just like, just sit in this for what is right now. Use this time to reflect on you, to understand what emotions it's bringing up for you, because every divine appointment, everything that's happening in your life is happening for you. And so it's like, okay, why did I ask for this pause, for this type of I don't know. It kind of feels like being in a void, or like when you're on not that I'm a surfer by any means, but I kind of feel like when people are on a wave and it's like that moment where they're just kind of on top of the wave where it's just going and then it's about to come down where you start to surf, but it's like that moment of you're just of nowhere. So that's what I would use this time for, because that's kind of what they're wanting, to share with you there. So hopefully that helped for now. But if you have more questions, pop them down below, and I'm happy to dig in for more information. Hey, Jasmine, welcome. We'll jump into you next here. Oh, actually, let me back up. I jumped ahead. My apologies. So Shaylee was next. And it says, what does your love life look like this month? Okay. So I do want to go back to these cards here, the love oracle cards, and we'll take a look and see what they want you to know about your love life. And then Jasmine, you will be next. So I appreciate your patience there. And one more time. All right. So for Shaylee, what does your love life look like this month? All right. Oh no. Oh. So you got stabbed in the back. Ouch. See if I can get that to focus there at all. Oh my goodness, there we go. A little bit. But it says heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking, attack. I don't know if I like these cards, but I feel like um, you're dealing with heartbreak. I kind of feel like it's not like you are going to be heartbroken, like something new is going to happen. I kind of feel like there's going to be some situations that pop up that kind of bring back that feeling, like it almost feels like you got stabbed in your heart again. But it's because someone does something that just sparks this for you. Let me see if I can get any information on it, because I feel like it's part of your transformation of your heartbreak that's happening. It's not like new stuff. It's like all those things I read on there are feelings from the past, from all those. Just say a bad word. I'm not going to say it though. All those jerks. But of course, we know they're actors that are in our life for a reason. They're our greatest teachers, right? Yeah. Because you do have the Ace of Cups coming in here. So this is new love, higher love. This represents the chalice, the Holy Grail, which is the unconditional love of the Creator of the higher realms that you find within your heart. And you fill up with this and see how this love overflows out of you. This is a month of, uh, like, I don't want to say healing, because we're never really broken. It's more of a transformation of energy, because energy always exists. It's just that we transform it and we change it into something else. So I kind of feel like this is a month that is a huge transformational, some old emotions that keep on popping their head up, excuse me, into your life through different people. And it just has that same of your heart that pops up. But this is a month where you make some great strides on some beautiful, beautiful inner shadow work, where you really look at it and go, all right, I'm tired of feeling this. What is the deal? And you go back. And I kind of feel like you go back early in your childhood, like back into your, you know, emotionally um, developing years, like all of us. It's usually like 7 years old and younger that you're doing some great um, your child self, um, embracing and communicating with them, like you are allowing the safe space for them to express and tell you where they got hurt, so that you can, come in as this powerful adult you are now to transform that energy with new understanding and new strength. So I really love that for you. I know, we've got a couple more cards here. Let's see what we have here. And then Jasmine, I'll be right with you. Yeah, because you have the Knight of Wands, which the Knight of Wands is about your energy, your drive, your ambition, your passion, but it's about your power. And look, here's your little child self and you. How perfect is that? You guys are embracing your power together and moving forward. I love that. Oh my gosh. And then you do have the Queen of Chalices, the Queen of Cups as well, which is about you. There's that Ace of Cups in your hands. That's you sitting in a whole new place of power in your emotional life. She not only rules over water, but all the queens in the minor arcana get an extra dose of water. So she's got double water, which is you really having control over your emotions. I think you might even, maybe you might, if you are a water sign, either a Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces, or you have a lot of water in your chart. I really feel this is like this beautiful, beautiful place that's happening. And then, before I could finish, you also have the World card that's popping up here, which is all about ending of major cycles and beginning of a new journey, a new adventure. So this month is huge for you on your emotional level, and it is very transformative. Yeah. Oh, you're living this Pisces full moon, then you're feeling the feels. I'm a Pisces moon, and then I have like 3 or 4 other planets or things in there too. So loving this energy. I'm either going way, way up or way, way down. It's like, woohoo. Great. Thank you so much for subscribing tonight. Perfect. Thank you. I'll go into Jasmine next, and then you'll be right after her. And if you do have additional questions there, Shelly, please let me know. Put them down below and I'll circle back around. All right, Jasmine, so let's take a look here. Will the Edgar take action towards you? Okay. Wow, only half water? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think I'm like that too, because I have some Cancer and some, I think I have some Scorpio too. So I'm like, water, water. So let's take a look here, Jasmine. Will Edgar take any actions towards you? Actually, I'm shuffled the pink, but I'm gonna shuffle the black of the Love Oracle, and we'll see what his actions are. What are his perceptions? What's going on with him? You despise emotions. You swim in it. It's like you being a frog and you hate water, right? So Edgar here, he's the Phoenix. Oh, there we go. Oh, kind of. There we go. And it says he's in a new phase. He's rekindling, renewing himself, transformation, growth, changing of mind. So he is going through like this rebirth, you know, he's like rising from his ashes. And so I kind of feel like right now there won't be any actions toward anyone else but himself, because he's still dealing with having just caught on fire and had his felt like his entire life burned down in a way, and he's like rising in this new way, emotionally, mentally, physically, just his entire life. It feels like he's on this new renewal. Yeah, so he's like it's just like his entire life just burst into flames, and now he's just uh, resettling as this new creation. It's like his life is definitely transforming into something else. I'm going to pull from the pink deck for you here. You got engagement ring here. So this is about commitment, engagement, partnership, commitment, eternity, completion, union. So you do have that coming in your life. Not necessarily, I'm not sure if it's from him. Let me see if they'll give me clarity through the tarot. We'll see what we can do. He just injured his right eye. It's got two eyes. Wah, wah, wah. You're too funny, Jasmine. All right. So let's take a look here. Can you give us some clarity on who this engagement is? It with the Phoenix, or is it someone else? All right. Wow, you got the World card. So I feel like this is an ending of like we got ending of major cycle and beginning of something new. So I feel like that whatever was before is ending, and you're ready to go on a new adventure, a new journey. So yeah, I almost feel like that ship has sailed, but I don't feel like it's you. It's not me. It's not you. It's me. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, because you got the Four of Wands, which is the marriage card, and you got one more card. Let's see what that is. Yeah, and you got another four. So this is peace of mind. This is letting expectations go and looking for higher truths, and slicing away the old expectations, because you have this solid, the fours. The fours are like a huge table with huge legs. So it's this very solid foundation. And I kind of feel like um, if you want, the solidness, that you don't feel that's with him, though. I just really feel like it's like, you know what? You're going with the flow, waiting, but that World card with these two is like, no, time to go on your adventure, live your life, let it go, let all the expectations go, all that stuff, and go live your life. and stop waiting on him. Sorry. That's what they're telling me. Yeah, because you deserve, you know, not to wait. It's like they're showing me a picture of waiting by the phone, and and the call, the phone doesn't ring. You know, he's off on his own adventure, his own life, his own all that stuff. So I would really just say, you know what? If it's meant to be, he'll come back around, but I'm not going to worry about it anymore. I'm going to go live my life. I'm not going to put my life on hold for no one. Let's see what else they have to say here. I feel like they want something. And thank you, Mina, for your patience. I'll be to yours next here. But they want to say something. Yeah. Well, I'll think about you thinking about it. How's that? Yeah. Okay, and you got 2 more cards here. Yeah. Because now you have the 8 of Swords. So this is understanding that it's your thoughts and your beliefs that are blinding you, that are keeping you bound, and that are making you feel kind of trapped into that. Because you also have the Magician, which is all about you taking action, no longer being the receiver and waiting, but it's you to take this wand in your hands here and make that. I kind of almost like, it's like, well, you said, how long ago did he say he would think about it? And then it's like, okay, you know what? So have you thought about it? What? Well, I need more time. Well, I don't have more time to give. I'm going to go live my life. And it's that whole shit or get off the pot. They're coming in very fiery. Are you a fire sign by chance? You an Aries, Sag. Yeah. Whoops. Yeah. See, they're giving you the 8 of Wands, which is action, 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 energy, energy, energy. Libra and Gemini. Well, so you both understand the mental stuff, but they're telling you, because you even have the Ace of Wands on the bottom, it's all about, let's go. What are you waiting for? It's a no-brainer. It's me. Why do you have to think about it? if you can't recognize that I'm the best thing ever for your life, then you're stupid, and I don't want to be with you. They're getting really sassy. So that's what they're telling you. And think about it, just sit with it. But it's all about ending of cycles, all this stuff. It's like you're having all this go on with you, but you know you deserve it. You deserve someone who it's not your idea to be together or commit or to get married, right? It's that they are smart enough to go, damn, you are a wonderful person, and I'm lucky to have you in my life, and let's do it. I have nothing holding me back. So hopefully that resonated there for you, but definitely they're like, let's go. All right. So Mina, thank you so much, Mina, for the new subscribing. And you are asking here, what are current feelings, thoughts of the Virgo towards you? All right. So we're going to use the black deck here for the Love Oracle. So let's take a look here. Yeah, Jasmine, because whatever's meant for you will never pass you by. So you taking action and going, all right, let's go, or, let's end it, one of the two, otherwise you're blocking the opportunity for someone else to come in. So you got 3 cards here. So let's take a look and see. So you got the butterfly. So these are their thoughts of you. Take a look here. So got the butterfly, and that's relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child and growth. You also got photograph, which is they're looking at your photos. Uh-oh, missing you, nostalgia, making new memories. Okay, making sense. And then you also have got oh, addiction. Oh, there we go. Trying to get it to focus there. And that's codependent, obsession, possession, controlling, has a block and restraint. And that's not how he sees you. What's happening here, with the butterfly in the photograph one, these are like how he sees you. He sees you as someone that has really transformed their life. That they're like, wow, whoa, they've been through it, and it kind of like they know what some of the pain and some of the past things that you've gone through, both in your childhood and in relationships, and they're just like, wow, you didn't let it bury you. You didn't let it deter you, and it's like they see you as a very strong individual. What they are, this is what they're feeling on the inside, is that their past relationships are their baggage. That's slowing them down, and they're kind of hesitant in opening up their heart and moving forward. They have this huge protection over it, and we can, see what else here. What else? In fact, I think I want to use tarot for that. We'll take a look here. Hey, Miriam. Absolutely, you can ask as many complicated questions as you want, and we'll see. Spirit, of course, is so much smarter. They'll have the answers. So let me see what else, Mina, and what else they'd like you to know. Get some clarification through the tarot. Okay, so you got 3. So you do have the 10 of Cups, which is about emotional fulfillment. So I kind of feel like this is like the possibility. This is like the ultimate emotional fulfillment. And you got the 3 of Cups, which is more emotions, but it's joy and celebration. So I like that. And then you have the 4 of Wands, which is all, again, celebration and marriage and partying and those types of things. So I really feel like hang in there. They are, doing their inner work. I kind of feel like if you will allow them space, but live your life and you know share your feelings. I mean, because you have strong, I feel like you have strong confidence in who you are, because the other things you went through kind of forced you to really find your self-worth from within, and not from the outside. I kind of almost feel like childhood and relationships and school and everything else, it was just like such a challenge in every direction, but you asked for it. Of course, you signed up for it because you knew it would make you so strong and so solid in who you are, that you're like, okay, it's okay, yeah. So you're okay with, all right, you are who you are, and let's just continue to be that. It's almost like you're, I don't want to say a teacher for him, but you're a great guide for him, to show how he can transform things in his life and how he can look at him in different ways and different perspectives. So I really feel, that it would be, that's kind of what is great for right now. You know, be that bright light, show them what's possible, and then just go with the flow is kind of what I'm feeling there too. So he's blocked you, yeah. And I kind of feel like it's that, um, it's like this pain that he had, and it's out of nowhere, and you're like great friends, then something triggered inside of him. That sometimes when we're around people in pain, then uh, we bump into them or step on their foot by accident, and they get they blame us. But I would give it time, because you also have the full card, which is the new journey. It's an adventure. I kind of feel like it's like this is going with the flow. Just let it be what it is, and you're like, that's his business. He's going through it. Definitely insecurity and jealousy feel like that ball and chain that he's dragging around. That's that insecurity, the pain, the unworthiness, all those things that pop through all that. Yeah, this is him. This is poor little guy. He just feels like he had so much pain that's him. He can just barely. Ugh. So, um, he just. It's good for him to spend that time away, and I like that full card for you. It's like, you know what? That's okay. I've got big hopes. I've got big dreams, and I'm just going to continue to shine bright and be me. And you know, um, I kind of feel just let him have that time, and when he's ready, he'll recontact you, and then you can just see where he's at. But like you said, it has nothing to do with you. It's his own pain. It's his own. Uh, I mean, just like Ten of Swords it sums it up. He's just had all that. So definitely. So keep enjoying your life and go. So let's take a look here. And let me just scroll up and back a little bit here. Thank you, everyone who's joined. And this is part of my ongoing YouTube subscriber marathon. I did hit over 500 last night. So thank you all much. I'm halfway to my goal. I do have a lot of giveaways that I have going on, which I do have listed in the description box of this video, with links to the giveaway playlist. So if you haven't subscribed, I really encourage you to do so, because I have a ton of giveaways that I'm giving away. Plus, I always put out a lot of free content with weekly energy updates, free zodiac sign, monthly readings, free zodiac sign, and a few other types as well. So let's see where we are at. And let me just go back up a little more, make sure I didn't pass over anyone. Okay, there's Nina. All right. And Ankur Srivastava, I know I probably murdered that. You have given 2 interviews and you're waiting for the result. When will you have an offer letter in hand? Awesome. So I'm going to use this chart for that. And we're going to pull a tarot card, and it'll tell us what date. So we're going to use you as the guinea pig. You'll be the first time I'm using this chart. So Spirit, that's what we want to use to find out about this date. When will you have an offer letter in hand? And we'll see if it resonates when we pull one here. All right. I just need one card, please. One card to tell me. Okay, this is the one. You have the Judgment card. Do these have? Nope, it doesn't have those. So you did get the Judgment card for this question, and we'll continue looking on here. But this is endings and new beginnings, kind of double endings and double new beginnings. This is your higher self basically calling you to this higher place. So this could be, it's also called the calling card, like you'll receive a call. So let's take a look and see, because I need a minor arcana, and you got the Knight of Pentacles. So like that little Knight of Pentacles. And so we'll see here. Knight of Pentacles is usually, it'll all unfold in the proper timing. So that'll be the Prince of Let me find it here on the chart. That'll be the Prince of Discs. Appreciate your patience here. Okay. So Prince of Discs, wow. So that would normally be like April 11th through May 11th. So that's kind of far off. So um, that does not resonate with me. That seems like too far off. But I do with that Knight of Pentacles, it is this message of everything in the external world unfolds in its season, and it's kind of the patience card, which I know we don't want when we're like, I want an answer. They're like, be patient, it'll come. No, I need to know. So let's see what else they'll give us here. Yeah, they didn't give me another one. Yeah, temperance, patience, balance, balancing things out. So, and it's not, come on. Well, there it goes. So you see, I always like doing this alchemy thing, pouring the cups in between one another. I kind of feel it's like just keep going with the flow and it'll unfold. They are not giving us an exact time, which I figured with that wheel. I'm like, but what if you don't want it? And then like, then we won't give you one. And I'm like, how does that work? And now I see they give us a bunch of major arcana, which are about life changes, but they're like, just, it's all about trusting that things will unfold in the perfect timing, that what is meant for you will not pass you by. So I'm so sorry. I wish they'd give you the exact, but evidently there's a reason why. It's about waiting and being in this patience mode of trust, building the trust in the higher realms that things are unfolding perfectly for you. And right now, that's like they're just saying, just be patient. It's coming. Answers are coming. The call is coming. So, wish I had more for that. If you have additional questions, pop them down. Oh, your current company asked you to resign. Well, yeah, I would. That's double endings and double new beginnings, right? Let's take a look here. And if you have additional questions, pop them down. I'm going to keep going here. And I got Miriam. So this is the complicated question. Let's see. So you want to know, I want to know what was going on between the Leo and the Oh, okay. So you'd like to know what was going on over there? Why is he flinching? What's what, let's see what they'll tell us here. Thank you. Yeah. It's a giant tapestry, and I've carried it with me for years and years. I love the Om symbol. You know, for me, it means breath of God, and so we're surrounded by the breath of God. So let's take a look here. What was going on? Okay. So you got the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups is all, it's of course, it is emotions, and you can see how they're meditating there. Normally they're bored up against the tree, and the three cups down here are the three cups of the outer world, and it just feels like it's empty. It's not satisfying us, right? And then the Ace of Cups comes in, which is the search for finding the love we've been looking for all along from within ourselves. So evidently, it feels like there was emotional connection between them. Let's see if they'll give us any other information. Of course, when it's other people, usually we're told it's none of our business. But it's like, what's coming up is for you to reflect on. But let's take a look here. Yeah, they have the Hierophant. So this is about higher awareness, change of perspective, change of how they look at things in the outside world. And it kind of represents almost kind of spiritual restriction in a way, some ways. And that's kind of what I'm picking up. It's just, there's like this, it just wasn't what it was cracked up to be. Okay, and then we got, yeah, and so then we have the Lovers card. So that does tell us that there was romanticness possibly there. If not, there was emotional choices that were going on, which is really at the heart what the Lovers is about, is that every moment we have a choice to choose either an emotion of unconditional love or an emotion that's rooted in the fear of losing conditional love. And I kind of feel like this experience he had was uh, it's like it was painful, but it was like, when I'm trying to get my head around the example they're giving me, because it's like okay, so they're showing me like you really like Twinkies and you're like, I'm really in the mood for it, but you go to the store and they don't have the regular Twinkies, they have the store imitation, and you're like, okay, that should be fine. And then you take a bite into it and you're just like, it just like wasn't what you were expecting. Or like you go to drink your iced tea and you forgot that you poured soda and you take a drink. We were just Twinkies too. And you're like, oh. But so this is what was going on between them, is that it just left, like as they're saying, it just left a bad taste in his mouth, the relationship, the interactions. But that isn't anything to do with her or you, because everyone is a mirror for us, right? So our opinion, that emotional choice, he could have also just as easily chose to be very thankful and blessed and whatever, but we get to choose in each moment. And so he was learning, going through that. Let's see. Well, you have the Ace of Wands, which is new passion, new desire. Um, and so I kind of feel like one at a time, the number one. So it's almost like when he knew he was like, no, then the next, Now that doesn't mean that he wasn't hanging around with both of you at the same time. That just means he had already decided. you know, yeah, because he's got the Page of Swords. So new thoughts, new communication, um, yeah, new messages. So it was, like he had already, but I kind of feel like, and it wasn't like he was trying to sneak. He just doesn't like hurting people and he doesn't like letting people down. Um, so he was trying to, it's like when you're trying to let someone down easy. Um, but yeah, that's what I'm feeling by these cards and what's coming through from Spirit, is that he was just like, no, it just wasn't for him. And it's like something triggered, but again, it's all his perception, because we only see ourselves in the mirror of everyone else. So there was something in her that triggered something that he didn't like in himself. So that's what it's all about. So all right, well, I'm going to move on there. Hopefully that helped. If you have more questions, go ahead and put them down in the bottom there, and I will circle back around. All right. Then we have a cup of tea with $3 worth of sugar and cookies. So we will take a look here. Thanks for your patience. Can you get a general reading just for the rest of the year? Okay. Yeah, I kind of feel like I want to pull here from the Sacred Forest Oracle for you, and we'll see. One more time. All right, so let's start off here. This patience thing, what is going on today? Beautiful card, though. See if it'll focus. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful card. And it's the Foggy Bog. Yay. Let's see what it brings here for you, though. Oh, opened right up to it. So it says the fog in the forest is so dense you can't see your hands in front of your face. You take a step forward. The soil is soft and spongy. You realize that you are standing in a bog, and to go forward is to risk sinking deeper into the mud. The best strategy is to be still and wait for the fog to lift. So, the message of this card is to be quiet and still. The time is not right to go forward now. It's hard to see what lies ahead, and the truth of things may not be as they initially appear. Events that seem one way may, in fact, be completely different. So, just as the egret exhibits great patience as he waits for a fish to emerge, so too must you be still and allow the truth to emerge. In this state of obscured visibility, your imagination can surge forward and spark your intuition. If you can wait long enough, your sixth sense will be ignited. So listen to your inner yearnings and pay attention to those seemingly random thoughts. Water represents emotions, feelings, and the subconscious. When the water becomes condensed as fog, it obscures the true shape of things. We can't see clearly the way we can in the light. If we move forward, we risk getting caught in the acidic, waterlogged soil and decaying plant matter. Yay! Heed the warnings here to not allow unexamined emotions to overwhelm your growth. And the spirit of the foggy bog says, have patience, wait until the fog lifts before taking action. The truth will emerge in time. You just need to go deeper and follow your intuition. So, yeah, you definitely have this don't move forward, move inward. So, the outside world, be patient with that, but really go inward and trust your intuition. Let me just pull some tarot for you too here, and we will see what else they have to add. Sure, Miriam, you can ask as many questions as you guys would like. I'll circle back around. All right. So let's take a look here. What else would they like you to know for the rest of your year? Okay, you do have two cards. Yep, so you do have the Fool card, which of course represents new beginnings coming. So you do have a new adventure that's unfolding for you. And yeah, it does have to do with your thoughts and your beliefs and how you're looking at um, how you approach your truth, which it talked about going inward and finding your truths, and that the truths will be revealed. Because the Five of Swords is like this movement from, because five is all about change. It starts off like you feel you have to defend your truths, but what you're defending is your small t truths that are based on the opinions, the popular opinions of humans that were given to you when you were younger. All of us do. We're just constantly bombarded by all these beliefs and opinions. We take them all on as our own, and then throughout life, that's the conditioning we get. And we spend the rest of our life unconditioning ourselves, opening our minds, opening our hearts, opening our awareness. And I kind of feel like this rest of this year, this kind of it's almost like this hermit energy where it's like you don't have to like stay away from everyone, but making sure you're taking time for you to turn inward and do that inner search, developing your connection to higher realms and expanding your intuition, because the capital T truths of the higher realm are what are rooted in unconditional love. And when you connect to that, you realize that you don't have to try to convince other people to believe that your truths are more truer than their small t truths, because capital T truths don't need defending. And so it's like you're learning to allow people to believe what they want to believe, and you get to believe what you want to believe. And so there's this freedom that comes through this as well. So that is what they want you to kind of focus on for this year. They're not given, it's very foggy. They're like, yeah, we want you to focus on the inside, and that trust your intuition, and then you'll start to see those things. So we'll see. We'll check back in a month, right? We'll see. Okay, is it time yet? Can we have more information? So I love that for you though, because that's great. I mean, it really is freeing for you. I see the freedom that comes from it. You just feel like such a release. You don't feel like you have to police yourself around all these conditions. And because you're freeing yourself, you don't feel like you have to police everyone else either. Because when we have ourself under this long list of rules, by golly, we're going to make sure everyone else is doing it too. Because if I have to, so are they. But when you free yourself, then you don't care. You free everyone else along with it too. Yeah. As I usually say, I turn in my Deputy of the Universe badge back to the universe, going, I don't think you need my help. Here, take that back. All right. So let me scroll back up here, make sure. And welcome everyone. If you have not checked out my giveaway playlist, please be sure to check that out, because I am giving away readings and some Astro readings and some different things. So it's part of my YouTube subscriber marathon. So be sure to check those out, because I love giving away things. So let's take a look here. Evidently, I can't do two things at the same time, like talk and read. So let me take a look here. All right. So Mina, you have another question here, which is, how do they feel about you shutting down your YouTube channel by putting everything on private, and they have no access at all? Let's take a look here. And I still want to go with these. We will go with these tarot here. So how does the Virgo feel about you shutting down your YouTube channel? Denied. Let's take a look here. Well, so they have the Sun card here, which the Sun card is, they're okay with it. And they are just like moving. It's the Sun card is also about that it shines light on things in their lives. So I kind of feel like they are they weren't butthurt about it. They weren't like, oh well, they were just like, oh. But your action shined light into their life, into an area where they were like, oh, okay, oh wow, and they are seeing things about themselves and their life that they didn't see before. Because it also is the Leo card, which is it shows them things about their child self. And I feel like that's where this light shined on there, because you had the kangaroo with the little baby kangaroo in there. It really shined light on some feelings that they had. And I don't feel like they took it personally against you. They were just, it made them like, it's almost like someone goes psh, and wakes them up a little bit and goes, oh, okay. And they were like, I needed to wake up. And so they are not butthurt, but it is having some inner reflection that spawned from that. So that's good. You were that mirror for him that he needed. So that is good there. So let me scroll down here a little more. All right. Hey, Trevor, if you're still with us, thank you for being here and you'd like to know about your career and finance. So let's take a look and see what we have here. All right, perfect. Thank you for your patience and for hanging out. Let's take a look here. So career and finance. What would you like Trevor to know? Okay. So you're starting off with the Knight of Wands. So the Knights, of course, Knights all have this quest that they go on. And of course, the Knight of Wands is all about questing after the Ace of Wands, which is taking your power into your hands and like where it's almost like the magician card. You're holding on to the wand, and wherever you're focusing your energy is what grows in your life. So before I pull more, I'm going to pull more cards, but they're wanting me to say this first. So if you're focusing on lack and what you don't want in your life, your magic wand is growing that. If you're focusing on gratitude for what's in your life and focusing on what you do want in your life, then that expands instead. And I feel like that's what you're questing after right now with this, with regarding your finances and your success and your abundance. That's what's unfolding there. So let's see what else they have to say here too. Okay. So you do have the Six of Pentacles. Pentacles is your, here's the money, here's the coin. But this is a good card because it is about movement in your finances, movement in your abundance. And it is a positive sign because it shows that you have enough for yourself and that you're also giving to other people. So this is a positive, movement. The sixes, if you think of three on either side, there's this nice flow in the middle. So there is this flow that's coming in for your finances. And let's take a look what else they have here. Yeah. And you got the Four of Swords, which is about your mental mental stability. But what I was looking for is peace of mind. You have your expectations up here on the wall. These are the ones that usually disappoint us, but you're sleeping very soundly on this Ace of Swords, which connects you to higher truths, higher understanding. And it also is you're cutting away old thoughts and beliefs out of your mind. And maybe there are some subconscious beliefs that you have around your abundance, and you may not even be aware. You're like, I am very positive about building my abundance and all this, and I don't have these beliefs in lack. Well, not consciously. There's this great book. It's called Tapping into Wealth, which is, it talks about these tapping methods, but it's a fantastic book because it allows you to understand, and the tapping helps you contact your subconscious and release old beliefs that you don't even realize are there. And if your subconscious believes, you know what, you cannot make more than 50,000 a year, that's all that you're worth, and you're wanting a job for 100,000, you'll sabotage yourself because that subconscious belief keeps keeping you from getting there. Or if you go up there, it won't be long before you'll sabotage it and drop down, within that. So you might check into that if that resonates with you. It is, let me make sure that's the name of it. Actually got it over here, I believe. Yeah. So this is the book here. Well, let's see. There we go. So it's Tapping into Wealth by Margaret Lynch, and it's a fantastic book about that abundance, and it deals with a ton of things, but that's the one that they're bringing to my mind here, is that there could be this block that's keeping you, and it's in your subconscious, but you're finding these truths, you're moving beyond them. So whatever way you feel you can get into that subconsciousness, they are looking into that. Let me see what else they got here. Yeah, because you have the Devil card here, which this is a great card, exactly what we were talking about. It is your shadow self, the subconscious, showing you the chains that you have around your neck that are limiting you and keeping you feeling shackled. Yeah, and then you have the Knight of Cups. So another knight, another quest, and this is in pursuit of the Ace of Cups, which is, in that process, you do learn about this unconditional love, this limitless love that you can find within yourself too. So the combination of those two is very freeing for you regarding, your wealth and your finances. Let's see. Yeah. And they do have the Eight of Wands, which is about fast movement and energy coming in. So as soon as you look into that, it's just like a flood of energy comes in, a flood of direction, a flood of messages come in to guide you. So I really would recommend heeding that advice from them, because they're like, yeah, because it just opens the floodgates for you. So I love that for you. If you hopefully that resonated with you there, Trevor. If you have additional questions, pop them down. I'm going to keep going down and I'll circle back around. And let me see here. All right, and then Miriam. Hey, Egyptian famous, thank you so much. So definitely, if you have a question, pop them down below, and I will reach those in order. If you don't want to put your business out there, I understand too. You can just ask for a general reading, and I will pull cards, and then Spirit knows what you want because they can read your mind and your heart and everything else. They'll just bring the messages through for everyone too. Absolutely, my pleasure there, Trevor. All right, and then Miriam, if you are still hanging around, appreciate your patience there. And you said, well, you answered okay. Oh, why he flinched exactly. Okay, let's take a look here. I'm going to pull from that Love Oracle, since now that we knew it was some romanticalness in there. Then Rashmi, then you'll be next. Sorry if I mispronounced that. All right. So why exactly did he flinch? Well, I was like, because it's a bad taste, when you drink something, you're like, oh, here, you try that. Let's take a look here. That's funny. So got the sword and the rose, prickliness, right? And then you got the coffee cup. So that is telling me exactly what I was saying there, that it was because the sword and the rose, right? They both prick. It's like, ow, ouch, ouch. And then the cup is what they were exactly as I was saying, when you take a drink from something and it was sour. So it's like when someone mentions it again, actually they're clicking a memory in mine. I had once my brother, when he got out of the military, he was in the military, he came back to visit, and he was all, very competitive. And he's like, rather than going to a club, let's just go get some tequila and some Sprite and just have some, I guess they call them poppers, whatever, where you put the Sprite and then you hit it and then you drank it and all that. Well, it became tequila shots. And this was like decades ago. And I was so sick from that tequila that whenever I smell tequila or someone mentioned tequila, it's like, oh, and that's the flinch that they're showing me, is like, it's because it triggered those feelings inside of them. So that's the flinch, like, boo, boo, like someone walked on your grave, right? So that is funny. So hopefully that helped, Miriam. All right, Rashmi, let's see here. Will your partner accept for son's marriage? Okay, let's take a look here. I kind of want to use, no, I don't want to use the romance, because you're talking about the father, not actually your partner. So let's take a look here and zero in on that. So let's take a look here. All right. So you do have the Four of Swords there, Rashmi, which is like I just had pulled before. It's the Peace of Mind card. So, this is like, yeah, put your mind to rest. That, they aren't focusing on the expectations. They're focusing on, they're very peaceful about you. And I kind of feel like this is both of you. They're like, put your mind at rest, because their mind is at rest. They are, the expectations are not coming into the picture. They're it feels very solid, because, you can see here that they're not sleeping on a flexible mattress, they're sleeping on a solid granite. So there's the solid foundation in their thoughts about you. So I like that. We'll pull another card here too, because like you said, the father is very important here, which I understand, especially in different cultures. It's like, oh my God, I do not want to live a life of hell. So let's take a look here. So what else would you like Rashmi to know about the father's thoughts and opinions and acceptance of them, please? Okay. Nope. Okay. Oh, very good. So you have the Six of Pentacles popped up here, and for you, this is their opinion of you is that they love how giving you are, and that you're not this selfish, I want people's things and money. I want all this for myself. That you're this very free flowing, giving person. You'll let people give to you, but you love giving to other people too. And so they do see that in your eyes there. Yeah. And you also have the Knight of Pentacles, which this is for you here. This is you. The knights are pursuers of always something. Knights are always on a quest, and the Ace of Pentacles is the pursuit of your self-worth too. So it is like you're pursuing this confidence of who you are on the inside, and the reflection that you're seeing is because that's how you see yourself. And so I feel like what's important for you in this situation is the mirror that you're seeing in there is, okay, I feel like they might think I'm not good enough or not worthy enough or not this or too much this or whatever. It's like, well, maybe because that's in the back of your mind how you feel about yourself in some way. And so use those reflections to build your confidence, because um, how you feel about yourself is what ignites that in other people too. So the more confident you become in who you are, then the more confident other people are in how they're perceiving you too. It just flows out, and they can't help it because your energy that you're putting out is what comes in there. They're showing me, and I don't mean this in any disrespectful way to your future father-in-law, that when you're around animals, like I know we're especially dogs, they're very perceptive. That's why when people growl, like when dogs growl around someone, you're like, ooh, I'm going to keep an eye on them. But if they go right up to them, you're like, okay, because the energy people put off is what they pick up on. And humans are the same way. We pick up on energy that are coming out of people. So I really feel like in addition to that, trust that he sees you as this very giving person. He has peace of mind about who you are. But your energy, how you feel about yourself, is what flows out. And so I feel like spirit is wanting you to know, kind of make a list of all the things that are wonderful things about who you are. Don't do any other list. Just write that down and focus in on that. Focus all your energy on the giving heart that you have and all the wonderful things that you recognize, and the things that you recognize that you've been, kind of taught to, don't toot your own horn, but this isn't for anyone else. This is for you. You can toot your own horn to yourself and just go, these are the things I love about me, and focus on those and just let them fill you up. Okay. So hopefully that helped, Rashmi. If you have more questions, pop them down. I'm going to keep going here. And let's see what we have. Okay, I'm sorry, Miriam, I didn't catch that question here. So we'll ask here. Let me pull a card. I'm going to pull from these again and just see. how he is feeling about you. Okay, so there's two cards that popped out. Let's see what these are. So you got the twin flame card here, which in this case, this is because it talks about complementing one another, but there's also this duality where, like, and I talked about, it's like there's this, he sees things in you that reminds him of himself. And so that's like the, oh, that can make him, um, it's like when you look in the mirror and you don't like the way you look, you don't want to be around the mirror, right? And then you also have the clock, which talks about needing time, taking time, cycles, time to heal, time to progress. So, yeah, yeah, it's and everyone is a mirror for us. That's what I love about our human interactions. When we are aware that every single person, that when we look at someone and go, you know what, I think they're pretty awesome, we can only recognize the awesomeness in other people when we recognize that awesomeness within us. Likewise, when we're like, oh my God, I can't believe they're that way. Uh, we only can recognize that when we recognize it within ourselves. Otherwise, we wouldn't even be aware of it. So it always cracks me up. Sometimes I'll post on my social media postings like, angry people make me angry, or sad people make me sad. It's because I'm recognizing that in someone else. It's like, I can't believe people are such victims. And it's because I'm a victim about people's victimhood. It's always a reflection back to us. So, we always, it is all about us. Too funny. So let's take a look here. Thank you, Mina. I'm so glad that you came across my channel as well. So many beautiful people. I really appreciate all of you and your support, and how everyone helps each other, and shares compassion for one another in the chats too. Because sometimes I get into such connected to spirit. I'm giving messages, and I don't. I'm Aquarius sun, which even though I have a ton of water, I really attach to that. Aquarians, they put their emotions in the vessel. That's why they're water bearers. They can contain emotions and put emotions aside. And I'm a Capricorn rising, so I see the world through that. Saturn, work, 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 do the work and get the reward. And then all my emotional stuff, kind of sits over to a side. So I love how you guys are like, hang in there, and we love you, and all. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. So you guys are awesome. I really appreciate it. So let's take a look here. And I think we are down to Trevor. So one last question. How's your luck when it comes to the lottery? It's interesting, Trevor. I used to be a big lottery player. In fact, up until I read that book I suggested, because one of the things about lottery is about, I think they said it was about trust or something like that. We'll take a look here. Yeah. They have the Two of Wands coming in. So wherever you focus your energy is what grows, right? So every moment is a choice, whether focusing on unconditional love and what we're grateful for, or we're focusing on what we're missing and lacking in our life, and growing that instead. So I think that's what they talked about, because it was like a slap to my face when I read it. And I know she didn't mean it. She's a really lovely soul, but she was like, okay. So when you feel you need to win the lottery to feel completeness and wholeness, then you're focusing on your lack instead of focusing on what you do want in your life. And this was my approach to it, because I was like, if I win the lotto, then I'll have everything set. And they're like, will you? But they're basically telling you with that Two of Wands, is to focus on what you do want in your life, and be grateful and gratitude for what you have in there. Yeah. So you have the Four of Cups too, which the Four of Cups tells us that these are the three areas of our life that we're told to look for our fulfillment and our wholeness, which is relationships, circumstances like jobs, education, our social status, things like that. And the third cup is things, our bodies, our finances, and bank account, and our possessions. But all three of those things don't fulfill us for very long, if at all, because they're unstable. Of course, people change or they pass away. Situations never stay the same. And we understand, especially over these last couple years and for decades, finances and things break down, deteriorate, are stolen, catch on fire, or there's the stock market drops and the dollar is so fluctuating that all those things are unstable. But luckily, we're sent and given by this beautiful hand of the universe, of the higher realms, this Ace of Cups, which is what we search for, what we're really hungry for. It's the chalice, the Holy Grail. It's full of the unconditional love of the higher realms, the creator of all things. And it has no condition, so we can never lose it. Nothing we can do to gain more of it because we already have 100% of it right now. And so we have that stability that comes in, and then we find that wholeness and that completeness inside. We fill up with that, and then everything else on the outside world becomes extra. And so we can take it or leave it because we're like, it's a second dessert or a third dessert. So that is their message about luck and lottery. They're like, you can invest your time, invest your energy in gratitude for what is, and connecting to that higher fulfillment, because that's really what you're looking for. Even if you had $1 million, $1 billion, they have millionaires and billionaires that kill themselves because they can't stand that empty feeling of those three cups, because they haven't found what they're really looking for, and they feel, if I can't find it with all this, then I can't stand it anymore, and they opt out. So there you go. That's your message there, Trevor. I know. I want lottery numbers. I didn't want that. I wanted lottery numbers. Can't you just give them to me in private, right? All right. So, Marianne, let's see. Yeah, maybe he's not a kiss and tell kind of person, right? Let's see here. You too, Trevor. You take care. Definitely my pleasure. All right. So, all right, Miriam. So let me read and catch up here with what you're asking. Okay. Okay. So let's take a look here. So just more understanding of what is his reaction to you. Wow. So you got 2 and 2. So definitely, like you were saying before, it's all about choice. This is emotional choice and this is mental choice. And so it comes back to that his cringiness does come back to the story that he was putting around his interaction with her and his interaction with you, also the emotions that he was choosing to have. And it's just, it seems like when it comes to relationships with him, that he has definitely had pain. He's definitely had uncomfortable feelings and situations before, and it keeps coming back to, he has this choice in each moment, and he keeps opting for the old pain, the old way that he would look at things. So the cringiness is coming from his past pain. So his emotions, because of his choices, and his stories, because of his choices, leave a bad taste in his mouth. And so whenever you're referring to an old, if it's just coming up with her without you talking about, you know, well, wait a minute, you were, two-timing or blah 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 or whatever going on. If you just mention her, he remembers, oh, the dissatisfaction, the emptiness, the pain. And then if you razzed him about it and everything else, then that also makes him feel, all of this stuff. So yeah. Well, I mean, I imagine, let's see. I'm going to pull some cards on him. Let's just take a look and see what was Spirit allow us to see, just for understanding. So, because in understanding his pain, you might have some. For him. So let's take a look here. Just not to put out on the internet, but just to understand where his pain came from. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. Wow. All right. Yeah. So he's got girl with a snake. So one of his interactions. Oh, um, there was a narcissistic paradigm. So he was being charmed or used. So one of his past pains was that he was used quite a bit. Like people would lead him on just to use him for his money, or whatever it might be that they used him for. And he was invested with his heart, and it got broken over and over again. um, yeah, because with this heart key here, this is how he felt, that he thought this is what he was getting, but what he got was he got bit by the snake. So he thought they were offering their heart to him, but they were just using him. And so that's one area of his life. And then so we've got the camera, which is all about memories and reminiscing. I kind of feel like this is childhood type of stuff that's coming in, because he also has the Grim Reaper here. And I feel like this, of course, can represent endings and new beginnings, but also that there was this, you know, I kind of feel like, in addition to people leaving out of his life a lot, there was like death in his family too when he was younger, which, our heart doesn't recognize the difference between relationships. It just knows it wants to love, and it has love, it has romantic love, it has friend love, it has family love, it has, schoolmate love, it has workmate love, it has pet, your feather baby and fur baby love. But loss, all our heart knows is pain and fear when someone leaves our life, whether it's physically moving away or dying. That they're like it was about me, and it's like whoop, and there's all these walls that are up there. And then let's see here. Yeah, and then there's the seduction. So again, people that flirted and led him astray in the past. There's just so much pain there in so many different areas, that's why he doesn't trust. That's why he has this huge wall built up around his heart, where it almost feels like he can be. It's like he's numb, but it's still, like, because of that cringing feeling, he's been hurt a lot. So when something reminds it of him, even though he has his heart up, he's still looking out. And when he sees stuff and experiences stuff, it's still behind the walls. It still hurts him quite a bit. I do love that he have the phoenix up here. And so he is going through this transformation. I mean, I think he feels like his entire life has burnt down. That's what happens with the phoenix, right? They reach a point where they're just like so exhausted, tired of the way things have always been, and his whole life just burns down, and then they rise from the ashes a new being. And I feel like this is the part that's happened in his life where he's going through that rebirth, and things just kind of exploded. Like you said, you had this argument. I think that that was just a small piece of what was going on in his life at the time, that other things were also exploding in his life. Things were changing, family, work, body, whatever, all this stuff that's happening. So, you definitely, um, like you said, you've been nothing but kind to him and you feel betrayed, but you can't help what he sees in the mirror. You're just, for him, you're just a mirror. And for him, he's a mirror for you. So whatever's coming up within you, so this betrayed feeling, you can look into that. One of the beautiful things that when we realize people are mirrors, we can ask, how am I betraying myself in my relationship, in that situation where I'm feeling betrayed? How have I betrayed myself? I'll give you an example because I kind of gone through similar things as well. So I feel you, but it's like when I asked myself that, I'm like, how did I betray myself? And of course, spirit is very gentle, and they're like, well, when you look for your definition outside of yourself, by looking at that other person and saying when they did that, and you are defining yourself by their actions, is that betraying you? You're betraying yourself, because really we are the ones that our self-worth comes from within. But when we look outside of ourselves for our definition and our worth, that's retail price. That's what we're worth out there, which of course retail price is up and down and up and down, depending on the season and the trends and people's feelings. And, you could be priceless one day and on the clearance rack the next. And so we kind of betray ourselves when we look to the outside world for our self-worth, because our self goes, that's my responsibility. I get to define who I am. Why are you betraying me and looking out there? So I tell my friends sometimes when, um, you know, whenever we get cheated on, I go, why are you cheating on yourself with them in the first place anyway? Because you find the love inside. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So great awareness there, Miriam, as you looked into the mirror and you're like, and it caused, the mirror did its job, right? It reflected back to you what you wanted to see about yourself until you saw it. And then you moved to a new level of how you look at yourself and other situations too. So I love that. All right. So let me take a look here. And Rupali, you said, will they agree to hire you at your requested salary after taking tomorrow's interview? All right. We're like, come on. Let's take a look. Oh, okay. So you have the 10 of Wands. It'll focus there. So Wands are your drive, your ambition, your inspiration, your passion. And the 10 of Wands usually can go two ways. One is either you feel overburdened and you feel this heavy burden that's on your shoulder, or you've done the work and this is your harvest. You grew the bamboo and now you're carrying your harvest to market. So let's take a look and see what this other card is. And you have the 7 of Wands. So both energy cards coming in here. And the 7 of Wands is like, you don't have to defend yourself. You have the higher ground. So you get to be where you're at. And if other people are trying to drag you down, usually these are people trying to burst your bubble and bring you down. It's like, this is you being in a higher place where you don't need to defend yourself. Let me get a clarification card on that too. I just want to see, because that 10 of Wands I feel is like you've put in the work and the energy. So for me, it's coming like in as a positive card, but let me get a tiebreaker here. Okay. Yep, and you got the new adventure, the Fool card here. So you're ready to leap off into a new adventure. You have everything that you need on your little knapsack there. So I kind of feel like, again, that's kind of a wand. The wand has the money bag there, or the knapsack. Let me see here. They're being kind of vague about it, and I'm like, okay. Then you got the Eight of Pentacles. So this is moving up to another level. So I feel like this would be a positive result, because Pentacles is your abundance, your outside world. It is about you moving up from like being an apprentice to a master, bringing an assistant manager to a manager. So it is about you moving up in the outside world. So I feel like that would be a positive result on that there for you. And Miriam, let's take a look here. When you were saying about the snake, that was like from before. That was the pain that was coming before he interacted with you two. So, Miriam, that was definitely beforehand. I felt it was like history. Yeah, we all do that, don't we? We allow people to cross our boundaries because we're afraid of being alone, and so we sometimes, and it's our journey of our self-worth, right? We're like, well, this is as good as I can, this is what am I trying to say? Not as good as it gets, but this is the best that I can have. Is this is all I feel I deserve. And then you get it and you're like, no, I deserve more than this. Sure. Yeah, we'll do that. Let me hey, my blessing, welcome back, and hello. And okay, tomorrow's your birthday. Will you get a new car? Ooh. Whoa. Be right back. A lot of energy in these ones. Wow. So you got 4 cards that popped out. So you've got, I'll start with these two because these are both number 9s. You have the 9 of Pentacles, which is about finding your wholeness within, and the 9 of Swords is the nightmare insomnia card with all this stuff on your mind. So this is all about turning inward on your search right now, because you also have the 7 of Swords, which is about finding your thoughts and beliefs about that are deceiving yourself. And let's see if we can get it a little bit in here. So you do have the King of Pentacles, though, which is about abundance. So I kind of feel like all of this are all your expectations on what you want. And the King of Pentacles is this journey of, it is a journey kind of your worth. King of Pentacles can mean a huge amount of abundance, but with a combination of all those other cards, I feel like it's like you won't get a car, but I feel like it's, in the end, you feel like in control of your outside world and of your own worth. And so I feel like there's things that are put into play that help you get what you're wanting in the outside world, but it's not like just handed over to you completely. So I'm sorry. Happy birthday, though. I do have a seasonal playlist that has birthday readings on there too. So be sure to check that out, because there'll be a special birthday reading at the end of the season. So we are in the Virgo season, so it would be for Virgo, babies there. So I know, I'm sorry. I wanted to, yes, you get a movement vehicle card, but no, not yet. All right, so let's take a look here. Sure, Miriam. If you don't mind, let me. I'm gonna hit Kyle real quick here. Not hit him, but do a reading for him. Just because we pulled a lot of cards, I want to be able to spread the wealth a little bit. But we'll definitely. I'll make sure we do across. Come back to that as well. So welcome, Kyle. Let's take a look here. Okay. So what do you do and how do they feel? I'm going to start off with the how do they feel by pulling from this Love Oracle deck here. So we'll get some skinny on what will benefit you to know about how they feel, about the friendship, the situation, about you. Let's take a look. Okay. Any others? Okay. All right. Let's take a look. So got a healing heart here. See if I can get it to focus at all. Come on. Okay. It's not. So you kind of see it there. So it's healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship or addiction is what that is. So, and then they have the snake, which that is competition, looking over the shoulder. Let me see what this other one is here too. Okay. Yep, so they have the Grim Reaper here, which is the endings, endings and new beginnings. And with a combination of all this, I kind of feel like the energy I'm getting from them and their approach to the relationship that's going on is, the snake is the shedding of skin. They grow and they shed skin, they grow and they shed skin. The Reaper is, endings and new beginnings, and the healing heart, in there is the mending of pain and things. And I kind of feel like there's just this, they're ready for a change in the way things were, and not feeling like it's a change, and that they want to have this committed type of relationship. They are more wanting to shed their skin and start anew and afresh from a different place, not with a lot of that, with that healing heart. I kind of feel like they feel bad that they hurt your feelings, and that our hearts can't choose who they love, right? So even though we go into a mindset of, I think maybe a lot of people have been there. I know I had before too, where you go in going, I just got out of long relationships, and the other person got out of long relationships. And like, I just want to hang around. I don't want a committed relationship. Yeah, I don't want one either. And then the heart goes, oh, look, I love you. And then it's like, no, because the heart goes in into, it's like that clog is into your heart, and it doesn't just come out like this to drag it out of our heart. It's like scraping it all the way, and it hurts the whole way out of there. So I kind of feel like they do feel like, oh man, the heart loves who it loves, and you can't force it. And so I kind of feel like that's where they're coming from, is like, they think you're great, they like the friendship, they didn't have the ability to give you what you are wanting, and they feel bad about that. But they're trying to like refresh that and grow out of that and try to leave the old stuff behind. But let's take a look here, and just see what what do you do about this, because that's all you can control, right? Is your own stories and your own emotions through it. So let's take a look here. All right. So what would you like Mr. Kyle to know? Okay. Okay. So your first card that's popped out is the Five of Wands. And so this is a movement of energy, that it starts off looking like it's conflict and a battle, and then they end up, I usually see like this kung fu movie that starts in here where they're all battling with those wands and they're all trying to kill one another. You're just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And eventually it gets down to where there's one person barely standing, the other four are exhausted, laying on the ground, and you're like, what is he going to do next? Kill him off. And then they all start laughing, and then they all help each other up, and they all walk back to the monastery meal hall to have a meal together. And you realize, oh, this wasn't about fear and trying to hurt one another. This was all about love, and they were out of love, of their fellow brothers and sister, monasteryans, monks, that they were trying to help each other improve their skills. And so there is this change of energy that happens where it's like, um, focusing on the fearful things, that grows, and when we focus on what we're grateful for, and then that grows instead. So I feel like it's a movement of energy that is coming and happening for you, but whatever you focus on the most is what is going to keep growing, because whatever wolf inside of us we feed is what grows. Yeah. And then you have the King of Swords. Swords is all about thoughts and your mindsets and attitudes. And the King of Swords not only rules over air, all the kings get another helping of air, so it's double air. A lot about your mind and what's going on inside your mind. The Ace of Swords, though, is the gift that the king gives you because it allows you to connect to higher truths, capital T truths. It allows you to cut away old thoughts and old beliefs that we have. So Spirit is really guiding you to look at your beliefs about yourself, uh, what you've been taught, to look outside of yourself for your worth. We all have. That's what I think every human child is taught, is look out here to define who you are. Once we have enough disappointment and pain on the outside, we eventually are pointed back inside for us to really look into what we um, believe about ourselves. And that's what all those whispering, our heart aches and pains because it's scared, and what it's afraid of is what story it applied to other people's actions. So when other people don't feel about us how we think we feel about them, and whatever it might be going on in the outside world. It could be, I didn't get the job I wanted, I didn't get the car, the house. There's so much stuff in the outside world that we're taught to define ourselves by about when it doesn't happen. But that's why, so many people are sick in this world, especially United States, because we have so many conditions of things that have to happen in order for us to be lovable and acceptable. And so when these emotional monsters attack us and we're like, oh my gosh, that means I'm unlovable. Our heart gets pierced because it goes into fight or flight mode. It's fearing it won't find love again. It fears that it's going to be rejected because what will people think, that I wasn't good enough. I'm going to end up, when we get to the root of our fears, what's happening, it comes down to, I'm going to be, ostracized outside the town. I'm going to die alone in the woods and starve to death, and wolves are going to eat me. You know, we have this belief about all of that, that is given to all of us, really, passed down from generation to generation. Look out here for your lovability and acceptability. We feel unstable, we feel out of control because all that stuff is out of our control and unstable. Relationships, people change or they pass away. Situations never stay the same, like work and our I kind of talked about this just a moment ago too. All those things, work and education, situations we can get in, or our bodies, things, our finances, all those things are unstable. But we're told define yourself by that. And so we feel unstable. Our worth feels unstable, but it's all by design, and not in a mean way. The universe, when we created this realm, was like, if we are able to feel stable and whole in the outside world, we'd never turn inward for our inner journey here. And so enough, when we're disappointed enough and hurt enough in the outside world, we do turn inward to find out what are those beliefs. And that king holds that, like I said, that sword, and that allows us to connect to the capital T truths of the higher realm. Those truths are rooted in unconditional love, a love we can't lose. It's a love that we search for and hunger for, versus the small t truths of the outer world, which are all rooted in the fear of losing a conditional love, a love that can be lost. And it's all pretend. We can never not be lovable or loved because of who we really are. Our higher selves, that powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being who's made of unconditional love, right? So we can never be not loved and unlovable, but we come here to pretend. We veil ourselves of our mightiness and who we really are, so we can pretend what it might feel like to be small and unloved and, all of that stuff. So I really feel like with that King of Swords, it is this encouragement to question your small teachers about who you are. Yeah, because you are ready for this new adventure. You're ready to end old cycles and begin a new adventure, really understanding who you are, because this also represents your soul, your higher self, before you took a leap off to come down here to the human world. And so here you are with your little ego self, your human self, ready to jump off and begin a new journey. So I feel like it's a time, what you can do is connect higher and remember who you really are, question those truths, small t truths about who you've been told of who you are and what it's supposed to mean when someone's actions don't meet up to what they were supposed to. It's really this empowering time for you. um, and don't worry if you're not ready to look at that. You will repeat it, because I know I went through 5 relationships before I was like, oh, I get it. But it's always the perfect timing. When we're ready to understand that, we will. So that is what they want you to know right now. Oh, and then they gave me your 3 of Cups too. They want to let you know that you're never alone. You have your whole posse of support on the other side. You've got guardian angels and spirit guides. You have loved ones who are already on the other side, ancestors, spirit creator, unicorns, fairies, whatever you believe in, these beings of unconditional love and light are. That's them saying, we're here, we're always with you. If you need help, just ask us. We're more than happy to bring you signs, messages, whatever you are looking for. You are never, ever, ever alone, and never, ever, ever unloved. You're surrounded by all these invisible beings. And so if you take some deep breaths, get out into nature, get away from everything, and just connect, you'll feel their presence. I really feel. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Miriam, it's funny whenever I'm like, why did I want this in my life? And they're like, well, here's the piece of paper, here's your signature. You did ask for this. And I'm like, are you sure? Maybe I looked at the catalog wrong. And they're like, no, here's your initials saying you verify that's what you wanted. So I'm like, okay. So I want to learn something about myself in this. And so here I am. So hopefully that helped a little, Kyle. My heart goes out to you. I know we've all been through there. Heartache is actually one of the biggest fear rides, one of the biggest roller coasters that we all come down here to experience in this giant amusement park of fear rides is heartbreak. It's like, oh, I want to go through that. It says the tunnel of love, but it turns into this like roller coaster that takes us all over the place. It's not a really beautiful, smooth thing. It's up and down and all around and spinnies and everything else. So hang in there. All right, Miriam. So let's jump back here. And I've almost been on 2 hours. So I think I'm going to let this one be the last one that we have, unless Spirit tells me otherwise. And so we kind of want to do a little, like you said here, a you versus her spread, like what's going on between the 3 of you. So let's take a look here. Kind of want to pull a card here from the Wild Offerings Oracle first. which is going to tell you just the overall kind of interaction, like what they're saying, what they want you to know about this the interrelationships here. Okay, it's this one right here. Look, and you have the remover of obstacles, and you've got confidence. So I'll let you see that, and then I'll read it. Maybe I'll let you see it if it'll focus. There it goes. And it's divine confidence is completely different from the bravado of the ego. You make space for something larger to take hold. Please fill me with your confidence, oh love. Grant me courage I never knew I had. So yeah. So this interaction, what they want you to know, it's about you finding the confidence and courage in that higher love, because it's a capital L love, and it's making space for something larger, capital L larger. So they're like, it's all about understanding the difference between the small love of this world, that conditional love, and the unconditional love of the higher realms. So they're wanting, that's what that's about. I'm going to pull some cards here. We are going to use the Love Oracle again. We'll use black cards to represent him. So we'll take a look here. Hey, Sabrina. I'll pull a card here for you after I finish up with Marion. Okay, so what is his? Okay, so that's him. I gave one card for him. And then I am going to use the pink ones for both of you. Both of the others. Let's see. So these will be her. No. Okay, that's her. Right, and then this one's to represent you. Okay. All right, so we'll start off with him, and he's the Cupid's arrow, which is interesting, right? And it's about having faith, love is coming, surprise invitation, or meeting, and hesitation. So I feel like, that arrow is the one that, so he was the arrow that Cupid, his spirit used to ignite this in both of you. So he was the instrument that was used to activate these emotions for you to reflect on. And hers is the phoenix. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. And for her, like what her relationship, because you were wanting to know just what's going on between the three of you. Now, she is in this place of, new phase, rekindling, renewed, transformation, growth, changing of mind. So with what happened between them, it caused her to really question what's going on, how she feels about herself, her direction, and all of that, which was the reason why the arrow was shot at her, because she's like going through this whole renewal of herself and her life and her perspectives and all of that, which respond by the arrow. And then yours, this is what you're learning through this situation. Maybe, come on. There it goes. Which says not enough. Frustrated in relationships, the lack of confidence, the self-sabotage, the fear, ego issues, and jealousy. So those are the emotions that were popping up. Yeah, so that was like, that's why the arrow was shot at you for your experience. And I kind of feel, the way I have them are, is like this. So like he was the arrow, and I don't feel like it's connected like this. I feel like he just happened to be an arrow that was used to shoot both of you for your experiences independently. I don't feel like there's like this uh, uh, connection between all three. I feel like, and I almost feel like he's not connected to either one of you. Like his purpose was to be the arrow to start her on fire. Like hers was a burning arrow to ignite her into that phoenix, and yours was to get wounded. So you feel like that pain to ignite that reflection that you've done within you too. So I really I really like the growth that's happened because of it all, which is what it always is. There's no accidents in this world. It's all perfectly fated and scripted. We still just get to, look at all of that. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like he's done his purpose in your life is what I'm feeling with this clarification on there. It was like he was supposed to be the arrow that ignited that, and now it's like your your job with what happened is for you to look at your reflection. Like you don't have to worry about him, you don't have to worry about her. You just get to focus on how you feel about him, how you feel about her, how you feel about yourself. But their lives are none of your business is what they're saying. And not in a rude way. They're like, you don't have to sweep in front of their doors, you just get to sweep in front of yours, so you can use all your energy on you and not on them. So I kind of feel like that's what they're doing here. So hopefully that brought the clarity, and some, they're just saying, yep, just focus on you, don't worry about them, because it's all for you anyway. It's all about you, right? All right. And Sabrina, welcome. So we'll pull a card here. Hey, perfect love, welcome. I know, right? I'm glad you were able to catch me live too. So let's take a look here. So Sabrina, how does Justin feel for you? So I'm going to use these Love Oracle, and this represents them because I have a pink deck and a black deck, and the black deck represents the other in the relationship reading. So let's take a look and see, what do they feel for you? So what do they feel for you? Let's see. Drum roll, right? Okay, so you got 3 cards. Let's see. So it says, I like you. So he likes you. That's the first card. So fun flirting, may want to date. So that is good. And then, wow, so you have Cupid's arrow popping in here. So of course, this is all about divine. It's divine that they're in your life for a reason. And then the last one, oh no, you have separation, which this one talks about sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of future. So, there's still, I kind of feel with all those combined, it's like they like you, they know that there's this spark there, but they're also have this like, well, I don't know, they're like, I don't want to say double minded, they're just hesitant, is the word that I was looking for there. So, I kind of feel like um, there's just this pause that's there. And again, Cupid's arrow comes in showing that it's on purpose for a purpose. And I usually say, while we're waiting for someone to make a move, whether they will or not, we go through a lot of hell where we reflect on, do they like me? Do they like me? Is there something wrong with me? What do I need to be? Who should I be to be them for who they like? And we go through all this stuff, and all that hell we go through is for us. We actually want that to come in, so that as I've been saying throughout the readings today, when it comes to relationships, they're all mirrors for us. Those divine divine interventions. I was going to say divine appointments, but hey, it's a divine intervention too. They're trying to show us what we want to see about ourselves always. And so it's always coming back to us to understand what it is that we feel about ourselves, and really look into that. So there is this pause, the separation I really feel is this like, like they're hesitant, but that hesitancy, that pause that's happening is to give you time to reflect more on what you're feeling as you're going through that. Yeah. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. I do want to feel some more, pull some more cards here. Yeah, absolutely, Sabrina. Let's take a look and see if they'll give me any more clarification. So, what would you like Miss Sabrina to know about Justin? Okay. Yep. So you do have the choice card, the power of choice, and this basically says that during this pausing time, it's a great time for you to learn your power of choosing. And in every moment, we have a choice. Regardless of what fated event or divine appointment comes into our lives, we always have the power to choose what story we want to put to it and what emotion we want to experience as we go through it. So the chariot is this empowering knowledge that's coming during this pause that's going on, because you're really understanding, like, I get to choose what their actions mean about me, no one else. I get to choose what emotions ignite around whatever interactions are with them, regardless of what everyone's opinion is. I get to choose. Now, I know in the beginning we don't feel like we're choosing. It just, this happens. This is how we feel. That happens. That's what we think it means. But that's because when we were younger, like every other human child, we were given these popular opinions on what it's supposed to mean and how we're supposed to feel, so much that we took it on as our own opinion. And we also took it on as our own habit of, this is what I feel and this is what I think when that happens. And then it becomes our reaction, or it happens so fast, doesn't even feel like we're making a choice, but we do have this ability to change our habit. Like, I don't want to think about this way anymore. I'm going to consciously, constantly is good too, but consciously choose that regardless of what they do, that doesn't mean anything about me. Regardless of what they do, I can feel good about me. We can change our habits on those interactions. So I feel like that's what's going on here. So let's take a look here. Let me take a quick sip here. So hopefully that helped, Sabrina. And let's take a look. So perfect love. Let's see. Oh, real quick, Miriam. So he had to lead you both on because it was for you. It didn't happen to you. That's basically what they were all trying to say through everything that we've been communicating. And the bad taste in his mouth was pain from his past. Um, and I really feel like they're reiterating. It's like, okay, you've had a lot of information today, and now it's all about um, his actions, and everything are his, hers are hers, and yours are yours. And now you can let that go. It's none ya business anymore, because you're doing your inner work, you're moving. And so when you're asking that question, but why, that's, it has this kind of energy around it of, why was this happening to me? And we realized, okay, this was happening for me and I signed up for it. So you start asking, instead of, why did he do that? Why did she do that? It's like, okay, why did I want this? What is it showing me? And it's all turning you inward. That's the sweeping in front of your own door. Let me stay over here. Let me look at, why did I want this? Why do I feel this means that? Why does that matter to me? And does it mean anything about me? It's like you doing this inner work around it. So that's like what they're like pointing you to. All right, perfect. Okay. Yeah. So you were addressing her. I was going, is that a question? I'm like, oh, I see. You were answering Miriam. Yeah. Yeah, what perfect love is saying there. They have all their own demons that they're looking at there. Yeah. Sure, absolutely perfect. I'd be happy to pull a guiding message. I kind of feel like I want to pull from these Ask Your Guides deck. Absolutely, Sabrina, my pleasure. And you're very welcome, Miriam. And yeah, thank you, Perfect, for providing your spin on that too, because it's all wonderful journey enough. What was it? A Course in Miracles. It said the purpose of relationships are to teach us patience and unconditional love. And I'm like, oh my God, ain't that the truth? Yes, stinker. Oh, you're a stinker. I thought you were like, yeah, he's a stinker. All right, so let's take a look here. Let's see, Ask Your Guides. I cannot confirm or deny that. So your first one here is Imagination, Inner Child. Love that card. And then your other card is Compromise, Master Teacher. Yeah, I know, right? Taking away their power. Let's see. So the first one here. So your divine inner child spirit is knocking at your door, inviting you to step away from a serious life filled with too much work and drudgery and allow yourself some well-deserved playtime. Your life is presently over-controlled by others' needs and much too burdened with responsibilities. Consequently, you're losing touch with your inspiration and creativity. So listen to your inner child, take time to daydream, fantasize, visualize, wonder, and explore. Feed your inner child with art classes, theater tickets, concerts, and other types of recreational activities. If you don't honor your inner child's needs, she or he will get your attention by throwing one heck of a childish tantrum, manifesting in a chronic bad mood or a nasty depression. You need this magic right now. Your inner child's message, come play with me. I love that. Perfect, perfect. Mm, beautiful. Because then you have your master teacher also. So you have your inner child and your master teacher. And your master teacher is reminding you that nothing is entirely good or bad, even people, and that every person has their own version of reality, which may not necessarily agree with yours. Instead of arguing with or feeling wronged by those who refuse to submit to your point of view, give up your righteous and rigid demands and broaden your perspective to include the interest of those you struggle with now. Mentally move toward center and open your mind to look at the situation from their point of view. Although it's easy to feel indignant and defensive as you deal with this current impasse, the truth is that no one's trying to harm you. Instead, your detractors are simply supporting their own interests and priorities, which are different from yours. Rather than react emotionally to their resistance, strive to understand them. Be mindful not to be overly self centered. However, justified it may feel. Strive to be fair instead, because your master teacher's message says, accept that your interests are no more or no less important than those of people around you. So the only way to progress to higher ground is to compromise. So yeah, and then definitely connecting to that child self is perfect, right? Because that's choose joy, have fun, try not to be so serious, and that you don't have to convince everyone to believe the way you do. It's like, you know what, just love and be joy and have fun. And when spirit tells you to give a message, just do it, right? Do it with love and laughter if possible. Let's see what else they have to say here too. Okay. Yeah, you have the Knight of Pentacles. So that goes right in with what you were saying there, because knights quest, and they quest after this Ace of Pentacles, which is about you, questing for the higher version of worth about yourself and how you relate yourself to the outside world. So your journey is understanding more and more. It's like that unconditioning of everything that we're taught when we're younger. Our human side keeps it looping until it becomes so noisy and rattly that we're like, okay, let me deal with this one. Okay. And then you go along and okay, it's peaceful, it's quiet. And then something else starts rattling and we're like, oh, okay, let me deal with that, self-worth challenge. And then we just continue to do that and unconditioned through life. But I love that returning to the inner child, type of place too. Yeah, because then you have the Knight of Chalices. So the Knight of Cups in search of the Holy Grail. So you definitely are on your questy time of your life. You're really journeying in a deep ways, And knights, of course, can be so serious, but because they're questing and they're motivated. But you can have fun along the way too, and make it a fun adventure instead of a quest. Perfect. I love that for you. I just need to do one quick thing here. Just need to check a quick message. I normally don't do this, but my host that I live in her basement's in the hospital, and I just want to make sure they're not letting her out. No, okay. Because if they're like, yeah, they're letting me out, come pick me up, I don't want her be waiting on me. So we're good. All right. So let me just do one, and then Elisha, I will pull a card. I'm sorry, Alicia. Old man eyes saw Elijah. All right. So one more card for you here. Perfect. Let's see what they'd like here. Okay. And then you have the Knave of Swords. So the Page of Swords. So you are definitely, wow, two knights in a page. Your higher thoughts. You're looking for higher capital T truths, for higher love and higher worth. I mean, what was the only thing you didn't get was a wands, right? You're probably a fire sign. I already have all the fire I need. I want all that other stuff. So beautiful. Yeah, you are in such a great place. You're definitely right in the midst of your adventure. And so I love that. We're always remembering to do what makes our heart sing and to have fun while we're doing it. Otherwise, we're just existing and tasking and not living, right? Okay. Oh, that's right. The Bull. All right. So let's take a look here. Let's pull a card here and see how Caesar or Cesar, how they feel about you. I'm going to use the Love Oracle deck. Yeah. It's funny. spirit showed me once that we're all these mad scientists and we're all in our own laboratories. We have all our little experiments that we're all doing. But we like to wander down the hall into other people's laboratories and go, "Oh no, this is what you should be doing," and we we cause an explosion, and then they're all like, they just swipe everything off into the wastebasket and they start over, and they go, "Can you go work on your own experiment? I'm working on my own." And I'm like, "Oh, you're saying that I should mind my own business and stay in my laboratory?" And Spirit's like, "Yes, that's a nice way to say that." Right? Yeah. "No, no, let me tell you what your experiment is." And they're like, "Get out." Get out of my laboratory. All right. Yes, exactly. All right. So let's take a look here and see how Caesar feels about you. So he had got keys on a ring is the first card. I'm sorry about I'm trying to get these to come on. There it goes. And so the first card, he has many options. He's got so much decisions. He's got so much things going on, is what I'm looking in here. So it's like there's so much happening, so much going on in his life. Excuse me, that he's got all this stuff going on. I don't feel it's like necessarily like a bunch of people. I just feel like he's got so much on his mind. I do feel like there's interests, like people interested in him and kind of like this attraction because he's just I kind of feel like he's just his mind's all over the place. Let me see what else we got here. You got the clock. There it goes. And it's about taking time, cycles, time to heal. So he needs time. And that makes sense because it's like, having this huge, you know, all this stuff going on. He's got to figure it out. He's got to calm his mind down. And then, yeah, then he has the axe. Come on, there it goes. Yeah, he's got a pattern, abandonment, breakup, separation. So he's got, I feel like these are all his emotions that are going on inside him. So he's got a lot of I was gonna separation anxiety, but a lot of breakups. He's got a pattern that he's had, and I kind of feel like he's just so where he's at in his life right now. He's just spinning, and so I don't feel like he. What they're showing me is like a pitcher, like a water pitcher, and he's got all these glasses, and he can only put like this much water in each glass, and it's like he doesn't have enough of himself to go around into everything that he's wanting in his life. And so everything suffers, is what I'm hearing. And so that's the pattern that he's going to get exhausted to the point where he's either going to have like a physical breakdown, an emotional breakdown, a mental breakdown. Something has to give in his life to where he's doing all that. So, he's got all this stuff that he feels like he has to do to fill himself up, all these, conditions, as I call it, conditional love, all of the stuff that he feels he has to do, and he's almost reaching the point. I'm seeing the Ten of Swords in my mind, where let me see if I can find it real quick here, because it's the perfect picture of where he's at in his life. He's almost to this point where he's like so exhausted. Yeah, here it is. So this is like him. He's like almost to the point. These are all the expectations he's trying to fill, and he's just like, I just have no strength left. And so it takes something like that for him to, get to that point. So um, I don't know if that's worth waiting for. If you're like, oh yeah, I want to wait until he has an emotional breakdown and then I'll swoop in and clean it all up. And no, thank you. You enjoy that. I'm going to go on somewhere else. So, yeah. So there you go. All right. Let's see what else we got going on here. So hopefully that helped, Alicia. Hey, is that Rupsy? Rupsy? And let me just catch up here. So it looks like Katie is right before you, Rupsy, and then I will get to you and then to soul magnetism. So let's take a look here. So Katie, Jordan feeling towards you. If he is over everything. We'll take a look. If you did ask a question earlier, if you go back through the replay, you can see what message was there. I'll still ask again, and it'd be interesting. Usually it's consistent, you know. We'll see if he is over everything. So actually, I'm going to pull from the Love Oracle to see what their feelings are regarding that here. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I mean, I absolutely feel honored and privileged to pull, cards for you all, and that you trust me connecting. And I do so appreciate the support. If you are new to my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, I always encourage you to subscribe because I do have a lot of giveaways that are going on. So if you haven't checked those out, there is a giveaway playlist listed in the description box below for some great giveaways that I'm doing. And once I reach 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away 10 personal 1-hour readings. But I'm also giving away a bunch of stuff each week, so you can check those out. Oh. I'm glad I come across as kind. Some of my friends in my life are like, why are you so mean? I'm like, I'm just telling you what they're saying. Why do you think I'm mean? So this is where he is feeling right now, which is not enough. And so it does talk about frustrated in relationships, lack of confidence, self-sabotaging, fear, ego issues, and jealousy. So, when we're asking if he's over the relationship, I feel like he's just in all, like that's his emotional state. He's got all this stuff going on inside him. And I feel like he's always going to keep repeating. It's like that's the cycle that he's always repeated over and over again. He doesn't feel confident in himself. He doesn't feel like he's enough on the inside, even though he might feel kind of boastful on the outside and kind of pumped up, but he doesn't believe any of that. And so that's why he acts out the way he does, and he retreats and he does all that. And I kind of feel like the pain he's done with the relationship as of right now, so this is where he's coming from. This is for Katie right now. Rupsy, you'll be next. Yeah, you'll be next. He collects women's hearts, hopefully, like metaphorically. He's not like a serial killer, but yeah, I mean, that's because he feels like he's this thing, and he likes getting the heart, but then he feels he can't keep it because he doesn't feel like he's enough, and so he escapes and moves away from it, kind of like how people break up with people because they know they're going to be broken up with, so they want to break up first. That's kind of how I feel. That's how he feels inside. And so he's like a little scared little boy that just doesn't feel like he's enough to be loved. And so when he gets it, he doesn't know what to do with it, and so he gets scared and he runs away. So poor little boo-boo boy. He'll eventually turn inward for his inner work, because behind that character is this powerful spiritual being going through this experience on purpose for a purpose. So, all right, Rupsy, let's take a look here. And Katie, if you have additional questions, you can pop them down and I'll come back around. Let's see. Yeah. Well, like you said, he doesn't, until he feels he's enough, he's going to keep repeating that pattern. So it's like he's not a collector of hearts. It's like he's a temporary, like, no, what is this? He kind of throws it back. All right, Ripsy, thank you so much. Thank you for letting me know you're here. Let's take a look here. I'm going to pull cards from this Love Oracle. And let's see what, oh, okay, one popped out already. What are they thinking about you? Because they're not responding to your messages. What are his current feelings and his thoughts about you? Okay, so you got 2 cards. The first one, so like on one hand, there's this connection that he has with you. And, soulmate kind of is misconceived a lot in spiritualness, because anyone that comes across our path, even parents, brothers and sisters, siblings, friends, teachers, everyone that comes across our path is a soul mate. It's like a soul friend. They all come across our lives on purpose for a purpose, for us to learn and for us to grow through, right? And so there is this clarity that they wanted to bring around that. First is that we get this idea of like the one, and we're like, no, it's like this one and that one and that one and this one. That we all have these individuals that come through our lives as our mirrors for us to learn from each other and to grow from each other. I talked a little earlier about the it's called the Course in Miracles, and they talk about relationships are designed to teach us patience and unconditional love. They are designed to teach us. And then, yeah, so here we have the Chaser. And this is a chaser in codependent relationships, fear of abandonment. So I kind of feel like what they, and this is their perception. So this doesn't have to be who you are, but their perception of you, they feel chased. They feel, I don't want to use the word smothered, but that's kind of the energy around it, that they feel they're someone's trying to trap them, like, and they're like, no, I'm not ready for that. They're scared. They're not confident and sure of themselves, of what they want, and so they're not ready for that type of relationship. They kind of feel like, and I don't even feel like it's just you. I feel like there's different people in their life that just come in and they're just like, no. And that's why they just run away from everyone, because they're like, I want to be free. I don't want to feel trapped. And that's kind of what their mentality and where they're at in their life right now. So, that's why they're not responding to messages, because they're running away. And that's like the thought at the top of their mind is like, they feel like they're being chased, and they don't want to be chased. They don't want to be caged in, and they kind of feel like that. And again, I feel like you're just one wall. If one wall is chasing after you, you're not scared. And and then but another person becomes another wall, and another person becomes another wall, and then they start to feel trapped, and then they just like escape. They just want to run away from everything. But so you're saying he makes excuses to call you, but then doesn't respond back to you? Oh, you're not responding to his messages. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like they get closer, and then the walls start to close in and they run off again. It's like to and from and to and from and to and from. That's kind of what I saw in my head. Is like the walls chase him and he keeps running away and then he gets closer and then he runs away. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. And that's why they said this isn't necessarily what you're doing, but this is like his perception is that there's so many things that he feels are trying to trap him that, when he runs away and then he approaches and then the walls start closing in again. It's funny. Right. Yeah. I don't blame you for not contacting them back. It's interesting though. It kind of feels like when you don't respond, that attracts him, and then you turn, and then he's like, "Oh, the wall," and then he runs. Uh, you know, our fears are funny, but I'm feeling like, yeah, the not responding and not chasing. You're just like, it's okay. You be who you be you, and I'm gonna be me. I'm not gonna worry about it, and I kind of feel like that's a positive thing for your journey. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah. Right. So you have the Queen of Cups here, which this is you rolling your own emotions and the Queen of Cups is a lot like the High Priestess, very in tune with your gut, your intuition. Trust your heart and trust your gut is what they're saying. So you're just like, that's okay. Let him spy. Let him do whatever he's doing. You know that you don't need to worry about that. Trust your gut. You're like, I don't want to invest my energy in that. You're like, you don't have to. Yeah, Rupsy, and what spirit gave was what they gave in response to that question. They're just like, he doesn't he's feels so cagey that he feels like all these walls always moving in, that he's just feels like he's always on the run, like he doesn't know what he feels about anything. But when you stop paying attention to him, he's like, wait a minute. And then because he feels that's about him, that's what he does. Yeah. Because you got the Ace of Pentacles, which is about new opportunities in your outside world and way of looking at your worth in a new way. So I really feel it's like, don't even invest energy in wondering. Go on, look for new opportunities in your outside world. Don't worry about him. That's advice from spirit. They're like, you can wonder and try to figure him out. Not worth the time and the energy. Trust your gut and move forward and don't respond. So yeah, they're very clear about that. All right. And then soul magnetism. Let's take a look here. Welcome back. Yeah, I remember you last night. So do you ask a question? What does your first feel about you? Okay, we're going to pull some cards here from the Love Oracle. Let's see what they feel about you here. All right. So what does El Numero Uno, what do they feel about you now? All right. Got two cards. I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. Like, you're the hammer, boom, and he's the nail, smack. See if it'll. There it goes. So, yeah, he's rebuilding, but sabotage, interrogation, repetitive, persistent, working on it. But you also got sunglasses. So this is all about reflectiveness, watching, looking. It says stalking. Yeah, I don't feel any of those, but I kind of feel like he, the energy that I'm feeling through all this is that it's like he's rebuilding who he is, and he's reflecting back on what you guys had and what he could have done, but he's doing that with like all his relationships. So I don't feel like there's this spark that's there, like he wants to rekindle things. I just feel like he's like reflecting and rebuilding. Restructuring keeps on coming to mind. He's just restructuring who he is and how he feels about himself and those types of things. But it's all reflective on your interactions that you had. But at first, when I saw that hammer, it was just like, dang. I kind of feel like you wouldn't let him get away with anything. You would like literally nail him to the wall on what did you just say, or that doesn't make sense with what you said the other day. Da, 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 da. It's like you really kept him accountable is what I'm feeling. But on his reflection of that, he's not looking at it as like a, he was like, he liked that because he knew that he didn't want to be the way he was. And you with accountability, even though it like irritated him, he knew it was for his best, if that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, the one that got away. But this is changing. This is movement, changing of thoughts and beliefs. And yeah, the Seven of Pentacles, also represents a change of mind and a change of what he was looking for in life. And so I kind of feel like this rebuilding, he's going through these mental mindsets and he's going through these um, changing of what he's looking for in life. But, it really, um, you're not who you were back then either. You both have changed since then. So um, it's like the reflection is okay, but that's not who neither of you are anymore. So if you're interested, um, I'd always say forget who each of you were. Always keep it in the back because some things don't change. But rather than listening to what people say they've changed, watch. Actions, of course, tell you whether people have changed or not. Yeah. All right. And actually, I've almost been on here 3 hours. So I think I am going to, Katie, I'm just going to answer your last question there. And then I am going to get some nourishment. And let's take a look here. So do you feel like he will ever come back wanting a real relationship with you? I really felt like no, that it was like, nope, nope, nope. It's time to move on to different things. Yeah. Leaving behind the emotions that no longer serve you. You are ready to move forward. You're ready to be the queen of your emotions and roll over your emotions, not returning back to them. So, yeah, definitely there. Sure thing, Melissa. Appreciate that. Yeah, ego. Ego is our wonderful tour guide on this beautiful, beautiful fear amusement park. But yes, thank you, everyone. I am going to need to call it a day at this point since it's almost been 3 hours. So definitely appreciate everyone. I'm going to try to go on live more often. My life kind of right now with my host is in the hospital. Kind of have to play it by ear each day, but I do want to kind of go on more often. And definitely, if you haven't signed up for any of my giveaways yet, I do have a playlist down below and some individual links to the different giveaways. So if you're interested in signing up to get some, possibly winning a recorded 30-minute or even I have a tiered one now where you can, if I get 20 comments on that video, I'll do a 30 and a 45-minute giveaway. And if I get 30 comments on that video, I'll actually give a 30, 45-minute, and an hour, drawing giveaway on those things. So um, definitely. Rupali, I believe I did. If you look back over here, I know it's a 3-hour video. I'm not sure where it was in X. I've done a ton of readings. But if you asked a question before, I have answered all of them except for the ones that just popped up. So just if you want to kind of scroll through and find out where it is at, you'll be able to find that reading in there. But I definitely appreciate all of your support, all of you for showing up. I so appreciate every single one of you. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day or a rest of your evening, wherever you're at in the world. And just know I send you all my love. And again, thank you so much for being here. It's a true honor to pull cards for you. So I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all take care.